Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video of a DIY hood vent mod on the S2000. It's really basic and I feel like a lot of people do it, so there's a lot of forum write-ups on it, but haven't really found too many in-depth videos on it, so might as well make one so you can use this as a tutorial. Obviously, what is the purpose of it? It's you make hood vents and heat escapes your hood. Also, all the air coming in through the radiator now has somewhere to escape, therefore creating a low pressure above your hood for downforce, if you really want to go that into it. So now the thing about my car is that it's turboed, so it really needs it. I live in Arizona, where it's basically throughout the summer right now, it's 105 degrees almost every single day, if not more, and this generates an insane amount of heat. And the reason these vents are so easy to do is because it basically just follows the structure of the hood as is. So it's these three. Some people only do the hot side and that's it. Some people do both for symmetry. I really still don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll try the hot side. Maybe I'll do that. I really don't know yet, but that's kind of all it is simply just following the outline of that. Of course, even people that are NA, it helps as well because your headers are right there and the heat has somewhere to escape. For the people worrying about rain and such, that really is up to you, quite honestly, because obviously this part of the hood is almost right above the battery and the fuse box. Obviously make sure that you have the fuse box cover on because this is pretty watertight. If you don't have this on, please do not do this, because if it rains you will definitely blow the fuses and short your ECU and maybe even blow it. So I've had multiple cars with hood vents. This is like gonna be my fourth one with hood vents. And before I moved to Arizona, obviously here it rarely rains. It's very rare. It's like the last time it's rained here was 2-3 months ago. But if you live in an area where it rains, it's really up to you. You don't have to do all three. You could just do the front two so you don't risk having rain on your fuse box or your battery. I will be most likely adding little vents as well to kind of glue in or JB weld in, or I still don't know how I'm going to attach it. Basically like mesh vents, because I think just having an open hole isn't as attractive as having like a nice little mesh vent that you could paint black like all the aftermarket hoods have. And the last reason is also going carbon fiber on this car is pointless. It's an aluminum hood. I believe it's 14 or 13 pounds light stock, and it's stronger than carbon fiber anyway, so realistically, it's unless you're doing like a single skin carbon fiber hood, which would require latches to keep it down, you wouldn't be able to use the OEM one. There's really no point in getting a vented carbon fiber hood unless you just like the vents and how it looks. Now for this, I got the thinnest cutoff wheels I could find. They're 1mm thin, so they would be the best for cutting the hood without leaving too much excess. People use air saws as well, or air Dremels. I'm just using a basic electric grind off wheel from Harbor Freight, with these, which are better brand from Home Depot, super thin metal cutoff discs. Do please know how to use a grind off, or be comfortable with it, because if this is your time using a grind off, I wouldn't recommend it, simply because you're gonna have to make really perfect straight lines, and if you're not used to holding it and controlling it, you might mess it up, and I don't want that to happen, because you can't really fix it out once you mess it up. So next you're just obviously going to want to take off the hood. This hood right now is insanely hot from the sun, so I have no idea how me and my girlfriend are going to carry it. But I have struts on this car, as you can see, so it might be a little bit more of a pain if you were using the stand. But with the struts it's a fair bit easier. But basically all it is these two bolts. It's probably a 10 or an 11 mil, I would say. And then just before you even start this, just remember to disconnect this piece right here. All you have to do is just pull it off, and that's for your windshield washer thing, and just be sure to plug it back in once you're done. To put the hood on something, I would definitely recommend a horse. You can also get these at Harbor Freight. When I was doing a lot of body work, I got these, but I think they're $20 each. I have 2 of them. But if you don't, you could also use like 3 or 4 fold-up chairs and kind of put the hood corners of that, or just get a giant blanket and lay it down on that, because you don't want to scratch it up. Now the hood is very light. It's actually lighter than I thought it is. You can easily pick it up yourself, but I would just recommend having another person on the other side so you don't chip the corners of the hood. Now what you're going to do is basically just follow these outlines. You can put some tape down if you want to mark it with a Sharpie, or you could just mark it with the Sharpie on there. Usually people say give it like a 3/8 of an inch edge from the actual core support piece, and that's about good. And like I said, you don't have to do all three. You can just do the top ones. You could just do these two. You could just do the last two. You could only do one side. You could do both sides. Some people even put an extra one right here in the middle. It's all up to you, really.
Let me disarm you. I'm not trying to own you. I just wanna know what it feels like to have your body so close.
Now what I'm doing here is basically drilling holes in the corner of the vents, just because when you drill a hole normally it gives it the perfect circle, and then all you have to do is connect the circles and you'll have pretty round edges.
Of the past that controls you. I just wanna know what you look like without a weight on your soul.
Yeah, said you'll find what you're looking for when you stop looking. All of your exes with lessons in. We'll talk about them again. You keep on settling, wonder if love is a pain or the medicine. You never let it in. Well, I guess that you're right, but Vegas been never my type, and I didn't build up this wall overnight. See, I wanted more than just lust for the night. Then you came in my life. You're different than them. I'm used to them playing pretend.
Now what I'm gonna do is take an angle grinder, like a flap disc, you know, just a bunch of sandpaper, and work on the edges. You want to work from the hood side, or from the inside of the hood side, because you don't want to go at the paint or anything like that. Another good thing that I failed to mention is that you'd like to have some touch-up paint. My hood is totally faded from the Arizona sun, so I do not care, because when I get a wide body for this car, it'll be fully repainted. You know, get some touch-up paint. It's only like $5 to $15 or something like that for whatever color, OEM color you have, and you can touch up the cut edges with that after you sand them down and such. Now you basically just want to go by hand and get this stuff off, which is what happens when you cut from the other side. And as you can see, some of the paint is burnt on the edges, obviously from the high heat. You can take a painter's tape to this side to help with that. I just personally don't care, because like I said, you could see the condition of this hood, and the whole car is going to be repainted whenever, in like a month or two or however long. So basically just by hand with some coarse sandpaper, and then after that you would just take the touch-up paint and fill in the edges. But on silver you can't really notice it that much, but if it was black or red or something, you would see silver inside here and the hood would be red or black. So on this one you can't really see that much, but on the other ones you would definitely be able to tell. So after sanding, this is the final product. You know, you're not going to cut your hands on it or anything like that. I have to go do some things, so I'm going to throw this back on the car, and I'm going to go stop by Home Depot and see where I can get that kind of metal mesh thing to put here. So I'm sure it'll look better with that and painted black than just open holes. Go. Sits right above my turbo, which is good, because all the heat's going to be able to go away, and same thing with the headers down there. And then I plan to wastegate is like right here, so I'm probably going to flip it upside down, probably cut a hole right here for the wastegate dump pipe to come out of. But yeah, I decided to stick to the one side look just because that's where the turbo is. But you can do both. It's totally up to you, but I'm gonna go try to find the mesh venting now.